Right, folks, I'm going to do a quick paper review. The camera, I had trouble with it. I couldn't make it record longer than 15 minutes, so this is going to be a bit of a trial and error. It's the old story again. I'm just going to go through the sun. No, I'm not. I'm going to go through the Starr. Sorry, I didn't mean to say the sun. Why would I say the sun? I haven't got the sun. Why would I want to buy the sun and upset people? So I'm going to do the Starr. It's the Saturday, May the 11th. I'm going to start. There's the headline. There it is. I've got to take a picture of that, haven't I, for the thumbnail. Stand by your man. Furious Stan Collymore has blasted hypocritical media bosses for sacking Danny Baker over his raw racist tweet. Stan Collymore doesn't bother me. Yeah, he played for Leicester. He was absolutely brilliant. Then he went all stupid and things went wrong for him. So that's what happened there. But I can't understand why he's standing by Danny Baker here. What Danny Baker has done, he has taken the fact that Meghan's mother is black, and he has then implicated that well, this is what it was. Look, this is what he's tweeted. This is the that's the picture. It is two white people with a dressed up monkey and chimp or whatever, and there is no doubt in the fact that there is racist overtones in this. It's he has basically used racist things. He would not have tweeted that picture if Meghan's parents would have both been white. So it's, I can't. Yes, he's screwed up. He's made a right mess of it. But there is no doubting about it that I reckon there is definitely racist. There's a racist theme there. So the BBC have actually had problems in the past by hiding things and not taking action. Jimmy Savile is the prime example. I don't care what the BBC say. Jimmy Savile was always known as a paedophile. He was just a dirty old bastard. And, you know, the BBC have got a history of not doing anything. Well, fortunately, they've sorted this out, and hopefully this is going to carry on doing this. When people do something wrong like this, it needs sorting. I mean, the Starr of also asked 6 celebrities, so-called celebrities, does it mean he's racist? 3 have said yes, and 3 have said no. Obviously, the ones that have said yes are black, and the ones that have said no are white. It's just a joke. And also the Starr have done something, this was in the Friday's paper. Danny Baker has never been afraid to air his views on Twitter. The Millwall fan. Now the Millwall fan has now basically said that all Millwall fans are racist. There is not. There is I would say there is a race element there in the Millwall club, as in most football teams. But that's just coated everybody with the same tar or whatever it is that they're racist, and they're not. There is black guys and Asian guys and gals, women who go down there. So he's just wrong. What page 11? They're just moaning. I can't understand what Collymore's been. He's basically, it is a racist tone, so I can't see what's going on. Freddie Starr. Freddie's died alone, broke and hated by neighbours. That's probably not a bad way to go, really. Be yourself, Freddie. You know, hated by neighbours. So what? Who cares what people think about you? Comedian Freddie Starr faced being made homeless after running up a £960,000 legal bill. He was. He's been defending himself against historical sex abuse charges, and he was forced to sell his £700,000 UK home and moved to Mijas in Spain 4 years ago, despite never being charged over claims he put his hands up a girl's skirt in 1974. It's a very sad situation there. I personally don't think Freddie's done anything. I wasn't there. I can't really say, can I? You know, I can remember watching Freddie Starr with my mum. And I don't know how she got him home there. I don't know how she got to him or anything like that. But no, I can remember watching Freddie Starr on the telly with my mother, and he was part of the British DNA from the 70s and the 80s. I don't think he was actually too bad as such. With his humour, yes, you know, in them days it was a bit different to what it is now. I mean, let's face it, you can't even fart without somebody being offended by it. I mean, God's truth, the bloke made a career out of dressing up as a funny Hitler. I don't know how Hitler was classed as funny, but he certainly took the piss out of Hitler, and he was good at it. And you know, he was an entertainer. He was a very funny man in his day. And people like him now, Freddie and Bob Monkhouse and Ken Dodd and all those who are dying and who have died, is quite a sad thing. And you know, it's part of my. People say that I'm a funny kind of guy. I make them laugh. Well, you know, if I make you laugh, that's brilliant. But you know, I do see parts of my humour from that era. So it's sad. It is sad to see Freddie gone. And right, what else is it? Now the next one is lie test boss lets me find the truth on Maddie. There you go. Whiz to page 7. Let me get the truth from Maddie Mask Man. Now, when I first saw this headline, I thought it was going to be an interview, questions with the parents, because that's where the answer lies. It wouldn't take more than 10 minutes to sort out when they've asked Tom and Jerry. What has happened to Madeleine? Do you know what's happened to Madeleine? Do you know a party that has dealt with Madeleine? And I think this would stop a lot of this trouble. There is no need to keep funding this. If these lie detector things, if you're willing to take a lie detector test and try and prove somebody guilty who's a sex offender who's in prison in Germany now, well, let's do one on the parents. And let's get this thing sorted straight now. Let's get it sorted from now. The person they want to interview is a German called Martin Ney. He's 48. He's in prison. He's murdered 3 children and his countless sexual attacks during which he wore a mask. Now, I watched the Netflix thing and I've read upon this German bloke, and his MO was girls. His MO was boys, not girls. So, from a paedophile, I am not defending the paedophile. I would quite happily stamp on his fingers and his feet and everything, right? So he could never touch anything or anybody again without being in severe pain. And I'll also tattoo a big P on his forehead so we know who he is. So I don't understand why they're interviewing this bloke now. For him to go from little boys and all of a sudden just to go to girls and then probably go back to boys again, I can't work that out. It's an absolute joke. But let's do the lie detector test on Tom and Jerry. Kate and Jerry. Right, here we go, folks. Let's go on to the inside. Britain is booming again after UK record exports of £639.9 billion. So £640 billion has been exported. And yet these people are still saying we should be in Europe. I quite like the idea that we're not in Europe and we're standing on our own 2 feet and making a success of this. Let's go for it. UK exports grew at 13.8%, faster than Germany on 10.5%, France at 10.1%, and Italy on 11.4%. Why don't we just get rid of Europe altogether and just let countries go and do what they want to do? Why not just scrap it altogether? It'd be brilliant. Daniela Westbrook, she claims she's been fixed. Now, if you've ever seen an advert for Just Say No to Drugs, it's that. It's not her. That. If that doesn't make you not want to do drugs, then that's it. You haven't got no hope. You haven't got no hope. She's thanking Jeremy Kyle for helping her beat her demons and going to the Perry Clayman Project for love, support and patience. I'm fixed from the inside out. On the way home. I'll give you a month. Alright, sweetheart, I'll give you a month. Crash landing for BA profits. BA owners say saw profits collapse by a massive £177 million. International airline group said the plunge was caused by fuel costs, an early Easter and exchange rates. The firm saw profits drop from 60% to just £116 million compared to the £293 million. Don't know. Never been on BA. Never really want to. I'm not a big fan of flying. I don't mind the flying. It's the crashing I don't like. Singer Pete Doherty says his 2 dogs have saved his life. The Liverpool Stars has a long history of drug abuse and said they encouraged him to get healthy. That's a good thing, to be fair. When people have dogs, they do want to, you know, it gives them a reason to get up and get out and exercise the dogs and all that kind of thing. So, you know, fair play. The new Bond movie is in tour with Daniel Craig rewriting the script. Daniel, you're an actor. You're not a writer. Just shut the fuck up and get on with acting. And I think this Bond 25 is just going to be a complete nightmare. I personally think what they should do is say, Daniel, the door's over there. You've done a great job while you're here, but just please fuck off and we'll get either Tom Hardy or that bloke who played the bodyguard, not in the BBC drama, and just go for it that way. I just think he's going to just drag it down and absolutely ruin it. Right, there's a lad here, he's died. Carnegie Chima. He died after a schoolboy threw a piece of cheese at him. It put him into a cardiac arrest and he died 2 weeks later. Very sad story, and the coroner says that it was a childish and thoughtless act, but there was not calculated. It's kids being kids. Kids being kids. I used to throw celery at school, but there you go. Right, a boy of 4 in dress is okay. A couple who sent a 4-year-old boy to school wearing a girl's uniform have been praised as good parents by a senior judge. Social workers accused of the pair being too quickly to recognise the child's referred as H. So what's that? Henry or Harry or Henrietta or something like that. Fuck knows. As such as a transgender at such a young age. I think sometimes these parents nowadays, want to be too trendy and too quick to try and make their kid a fashion accessory. You know, it's trendy to have a transsexual child and stuff. I don't know whether it is. I know somebody who a boy used to play with girls' toys and stuff. You know, the kitchen thing and just, you know, but they never turned out that they wanted to be a girl or they wanted to have a sex transplant or, you know, they felt they were trapped in another body. I can understand that people are like that and as they grow older and they develop and stuff, but it's just some of these liberal, wet parents seem too keen to have a fashion accent. Oh, this is Henry, but we're calling him Henrietta now because at the age of 4 he wanted to be a girl and grow up. Just let the kid be the kid and then just, you know, try and guide them. I don't, you know. Right, a masked gunman was forced out of a mosque during Ramadan prayers and later fired his weapon outside. Rude. Oh, he had a gun that fired blanks. Oh, right. I can't honestly understand that. Why do people want to go into a mosque and fire blanks? Why do they want to go into a place of worship and attack people? What the fuck is wrong with people? You know, I mean, apart from these terrified people, they could have quite easily turned up with the police and shot him, which was probably a good idea. Right. What are we on now? Game of Thrones. I'm not into Game of Thrones. I honestly can't see the attraction of Game of Thrones. It just amazes me. But there you go, people do that, don't they? Elton John, the new Taron Egerton, wants to encourage him to record another LP. I like Elton John. I like his music. I think some of the music he's done is absolutely brilliant, and it's second to none. He's a bit of a drama queen, but that's probably what makes Elton John what Elton John is. He is, you know, an entertainer, and people like that. Freddie Mercury, extravagant. Michael Hutchins, he was another one who was, you know, he lived to be on the stage. Robbie Williams is another one. He seems to be only happy really on the stage. I mean, all right, he's probably happy with his wife and his kid and all that. But it seems like as soon as they get over that thing and they just come out and there's thousands of people there, that is when they go and they feel the most comfortable. Right, welcome to... Oh, right, here we go. This is Hawaii. I can't even say it. I've got a tablet. I tell you what, the Chinese, they've got this Hawaii, whatever it is. Apparently the workers sleep on the floor at the place and all that kind of thing. I tell you what, if they tried to get any information out of my tablet, it'd take them forever because it's going that slow, and I've only had it about 8 months or so, and it's that bloody slow. It's just ridiculous. Right, what we've got here? Britain's Got Talent. I cannot honestly understand this Britain's Got Talent thing. People are going absolutely crazy for it. Well, I don't think it's as popular as it used to be. I suppose Britain's Got Talent's a lot more entertaining than the X Factor, just people coming on and warbling. But it's just the sorry sob stories that they give. Oh, my name's Dave, I want to sing for you. I don't need to know that my mum's died of cancer and that I got made redundant 3 times about 20 years ago and all that. Just, you know, just go out there, do your entertaining. We don't need to know your life story. Well, I suppose you have to find the life story because people will just find out about it and then talk about it. A serial fraudster dated a woman who left her bankrupt while he was on day release in prison. Raymond McDonald, 45, told his sweetheart he was a multimillionaire with a villa in Cyprus, but he was really nothing. He was really returning to jail every night where he was serving a 7.5-year sentence. His victim told her, what the fucking hell? He had taken out loans in her name, leaving her £78,000 in debt. Well, women are not women, men and women are just so desperate to get a relationship sometimes. It's, you know, having a dead artist corpse in photos. What the bloody hell's all this about? An artist puts... I don't even... Is that art? Supposing to be dead? Is that art? Really? Really? Can't believe it. That's just some other shit. Is the richest goal from Rory McIlroy is the richest young sports star in Britain. He beats superstars such as Anthony Joshua, Sergio Aguero, and according to Gareth Bale. £94 million he's worth. Unbelievable. A teacher has been paid more than £10,000 compensation after being hit on the head by a football in the playground. A woman was struck during a break at her school in South East Wales. She took the council-run school to court and it has already paid out in £10,976. In total, Monmouth County Council has set aside £300,000 to settle the ongoing case. What the fuck is going wrong with people? The claim is... What reason has she got for being hit? Snowflakes want outdated pubs to swap pints, pool and darts for alcohol-free drinks, iced coffee and video games. More than 3/4 of young adults said pubs should be made more inviting to customers who do not drink alcohol. I think the clue's in the title. It's a pub, a public house where you drink alcoholic beverages. If you don't want to go in a public house, fuck off. Go Costa Coffee. Go bloody Starbucks. What the bloody hell's going wrong with people? They're just trying to take the fun out of everything. Right, what we got here then? It's the football Saturday, and it's Leeds v Derby and Villa v... I cannot remember. Villa v West Bromwich Albion. That's it. I don't know. I don't know a clue who's going to win there. We're not interested in the bloody TV guide for the week. I'm not doing the TV guide for the week. Sod that. Vincent Kompany smashed the 30-yard against Leicester. I thought that's the goal that wins the title. It was a very good goal, and I think Leicester were too busy defending the player and not. They were man marking. The Leicester played really well, to be fair to them, up to them, and it just went all wrong. They didn't attack the player with the ball. There was nobody actually there in the midfield. They were playing well, but they just didn't do it. And fair play to Man City. They stuck at the guns and they scored, and that was it. It would have been nice to see Man City get the draw, not just for the sake of Leicester, but just to turn the pressure on them, because it's still Liverpool that's playing catch-up, which is basically down to Liverpool's fault because they had 11 points clear and they screwed it up. Right, just to have a quick go through the games. Man United v Cardiff. I think Man United are absolutely screwed, and it would not surprise me if Cardiff do not do something today tomorrow and win, because Man United are just in a mess. They're absolutely in a mess. I mean, they've gave Ole Gunnar Solskjaer the job. I can't understand the reason. Why? Why have they done that? Why would you want to give it him? But there you go. Man City v Brighton. Well, you know, that's got Man City all over it. Burnley v Arsenal. I can see Burnley doing that because Arsenal are now in the final of the Europa Cup, and they're probably switched off again. But Arsenal, they're another team who are absolutely atrocious, I think. Yeah, they've done well in the European Cup, but to just base the Europa Cup, just to base your season on that is not very good at all. Crystal Palace Bournemouth, a nothing game. Fulham v Newcastle, a nothing game. Wolves v Liverpool. I don't know. Wolves are playing well, ain't they? Wolves are playing well. That could be the actual one. It'll be something like where Brighton and Man City draw and Wolves beat Liverpool at the Kop at Liverpool, and I don't know. We'll have to see, because them teams have got to stop winning. They're winning, win. It's got to stop. Tottenham v Everton. They're just Southampton v Huddersfield. Sorry to see Huddersfield go. They put up a good fight. I'm glad they stayed up last year, but in the end, they just weren't good enough, were they? It's you know, there you go. Right, what's this here? Tears of a Clown. Comics have made us laugh out loud, but had unhappy endings. Kenneth Williams, he died sadly, didn't it? Yeah, it's Sean Hughes, is he? Oh yeah. Yeah, Sean Hughes, another one who was a talented, very funny comedian, but died, didn't he? Yeah. Tony Hancock, here, another funny guy. You know, it's sad when these people go, but we've all got to go someday. Let me just do a quick go through just Jane. Mars pal chasing my dad. My parents are getting divorced after 30 years. I'm convinced my mum's best friend is circling. I think she's going to leap in and claim my dad the last minute, the minute the breakup is finalised. I don't trust this woman. She's encouraging my mum to leave my dad, who isn't all that bad, for years. Well, perhaps your mum might be glad to see the back of him and move on. I don't know. Perhaps there is something going on there already, and but you never know. My girlfriend has never hit me, but she shouts at me all the time. She's successful and well groomed, and now controls everything I wear, say, and eat. She uses sex as a weapon. If I've annoyed her, she feels I've misbehaved, and she forces me to sleep on the sofa until I've learnt my lesson. I don't want to live like this, although I don't know how to get away, as she says no one else would put up with me. Do you know what, mate? With that attitude, I think she's probably right, because you've absolutely... Put your hands down your pants, mate, and see if you've got a set, and because you just sound like a complete waste there, mate. You've got to stand up for yourself, and you know, and she will probably respect you more if you do stand up to her and say, this is how it's going to be. My former best friend recently attacked me in the school playground. She whacked me with a PE bag. She's jealous that my son has been spotted by a football talent scout. The school is trying to play this down, but why shouldn't I report her to the police? Well, you know what you could actually do? Stand there waiting for her, and if she's coming again, hit her with your PE bag. That might sort it out. Tell her that you're not going to be walked all over, and it's not your fault that her son is shit at football. And jog on. Right, so we're coming through to the end of this now, folks. There's not a lot in the sport, so it's the Grand Prix. Do you know what? This just goes to prove, right, money doesn't make everything. Money can't buy your style. What the bloody hell does Lewis Hamilton look like? I mean, that looks quite tame for him for once. Got no dress sense whatsoever. All that money, and he's still wearing Tommy Hilfiger, or ill-fitting, as it's normally said. Manchester United are closing on a £15 million deal for Swans' Daniel James. Now, you know what, right? This is just going to prove my point. Man United are absolutely screwed. They are buying players for £15 million, when really they should be going and buying players off teams like, you know, your Arsenals, your Evertons, your Leicester Cities. You know, I mean, no doubt that they'll probably be coming in for Harry Maguire or something like that. But I honestly couldn't understand why, at this moment, why he would want to go to Manchester United. And I'm not having a go at Man United fans here, folks. I'm just saying the club's in turmoil. And I don't like to see it in turmoil, because Man United has got a good history of bringing English players through for the national team as well. But it's absolutely gone, you know, mad. Absolutely mad. And so it's what else is happening? Neil Warnock will seek transfer assurances before committing his final year in the management to Cardiff. I'd like to see Neil stay there. I'm not a big fan of Colin, to be fair. I think he's a bit of a prick. I did like his Oasis impression before the game last week. If you've not seen it, check it out on Twitter. It is really, really funny. And just put Neil Warnock and Oasis. It comes up. It's quite funny. And Jack Wiltshire, he's there. Oh, is he back? Put through. Oh, Jack Wiltshire! What a surprise! He's no longer injured. He's, I honestly can't understand why anybody would buy him. That Sprite is just always injured. Sarri Radmix, Eden Hazard could be, his career could be over at Chelsea. I think this might be the last one. How can you turn down Real Madrid? You can't turn down Real Madrid, can you? To be fair, even Man United players and stuff. I know they're all going down a bit dodgy at the moment, Real Madrid, but you cannot turn down Real Madrid. So, I think that might be him gone. Leicester boss Brendan Rodgers hopes Yuri Tielemans will not be playing his last game for the club. Rodgers fears the Foxes could miss out on the £40 million midfielder. Tielemans is impressed on his loan spell. He is absolutely brilliant. When I seen him at Brighton, and he'd only been there a couple of weeks or so, and when Leicester played Brighton, and he was feeding the ball, he'd got vision, he could see where the players were running, and he'd made a difference. And I really hope Leicester do keep him. I would love him to come and, even if it is 40 million, I think he'd be worth it, because he is a class player. He is a real class player. When Rodgers says that Iheanacho is still part of his plans of what? Because I couldn't see any kind of plan. He wouldn't get in. He couldn't get in. He just couldn't get in any team. He couldn't. I think there's a tournament down the road today for under 12s or something. He couldn't get a game in that. That chance he had against Man City the other night was an absolute joke. Alright, he's probably lacking in confidence and stuff, but Struth, he can't be on that's basics for a footballer. When you're a striker, your basics are to put the ball in the back of the net, or at least get it on target. And just entering into the last few pages, Jurgen Klopp, he's mad into. He's as mad as a fish. I like Jurgen Klopp. You need characters like that in the game. He lives on the passion. He's just so good for the game, Jurgen Klopp. He is really, really good. And I'm nothing against Man City or anything like that. I would love to see Jurgen Klopp just win the league, because if he ever gets his hands on that trophy, he is going to go absolutely mad. And there's Man City. Pep's living the dream, and it's what they've gone from doing the quadruple to just doing the double at the moment, and it would be a poor double to a team like Man City, not even being the FA Cup final and not being the Champions League final. It's quite amazing, to be fair, with their players and their talent they've got, but they've done well, and it's hard to see. There can only be one, so it says on the back page, only one. Hardly Highlander, is it? Pep Guardiola admits his reputation will be destroyed if he fails to land Manchester City the Premier League title. I don't think it will, mate. I think, to be fair, normally your 95 points would have won you the league a couple of games ago. It's only because Liverpool have been relentless and non-stop, and it's a shame that Liverpool, 94 points, that should have won the league as well for them. They've both paid 37. Man City's won 31. Liverpool's won 29. Drawn 2 Man City, and that's where Liverpool are screwed up, isn't it? They've drew 7, and Leicester came back against Liverpool and they got the point, and that's what started it off. I think that's that bit there. But Liverpool have only lost 1 game, so it's quite unbelievable. They've both conceded 22 goals each. That is quite amazing. So it is the closest run title. I don't know whether it's the most exciting title race for a long while, but it's certainly the closest. So there you have it, folks. Saturday, May the 11th. I hope you've enjoyed that, and I will do more if you want me to do more. Okay, laters.